White House officials met with leaders from the Jewish community and university administrators from around America on Monday to address rising anti-Semitism on college campuses that we've been seeing. The meeting comes as the FBI announces the investigation into anti-Semitic threats at Cornell University, whose student body is 22% Jewish, according to the school's website. A recent Anti-Defamation League report found a nearly 400% spike in anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. since the deadly Hamas terrorist attack in Israel on October 7th. Let's dive in further on this one with NewsNation media analyst Colby Hall. Colby, we're seeing a lot of this anti-Semitism targeted, at college students, university leaders. According to the latest NewsNation Decision Desk HQ poll, 24% of 18 to 34-year-olds say they're more sympathetic to Palestinians than they are to Israelis. What's going on here, Colby? Why are college campuses such hotbeds of anti-Semitic activity right now?
I think there's a lot of underinformed individuals, and I think that there's a generation gap. I'm old enough to have grown up, with sort of the Holocaust as being a relatively recent memory, and also like the raid on Entebbe and the terrorist hostages of, the '72 Munich Olympics, which I remember watching as a little kid. I think the younger generation are further removed from that. And, it's so ironic that these college campuses that forever talked about safe spaces and you couldn't teach something that would offend a student are now sort of being very permissive with students who are openly chanting sort of anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, anti-Israeli chants. I think a lot of these students don't know that some of their chants are like Hamas branded annihilation chants, but that's not an excuse. And it's really a shame. And I think in some respects, the media has not done a really good job of making this story clear enough for a younger generation to get the full scale of what is a very complicated story.
Yeah, and I wanted to get into the media too, but it is interesting. Some of these students, some of these student organizations are the very organizations that have, previously condemned hate speech for all other minorities, except for Jews right now. So a lot of people not understanding where this is coming from. A lot of critics have singled out the news media, to your point, as part of the problem here. But our NewsNation Decision Desk HQ poll found 47% of Americans actually think the U.S. news media is covering the war in a fair and accurate way. So, Colby, based on what you've seen, watched, read the last 3 weeks, where do you fall on this? And what is our role in generating this kind of hatred that we're seeing?
Well, so I think I don't think the media is generating hatred, right? I think when we complain about the media, what we're often doing is complaining about I think the media is very often a mirror, right? And so when people blame the media, they don't like what they see in themselves. I have to shout out the journalists that are in Israel and Gaza. Those guys are actually doing really terrific reporting. When we talk about the media, we talk about a lot of punditry and analysis. And I think there's been this sort of knee-jerk reaction to talk about sort of the complexities and the nuance of the policies that led to this, ignoring these horrible atrocities from October 7th. And so, I think a lot of cable news has been trying really hard to both sides it at a lack of moral clarity. And that's given a space for students to chant pro-Palestine. Now, there's a difference between pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas.
Yeah.
In the way that there's a difference between, sort of anti-Israel and anti-Jewish. And this is where, no matter what you say, you're going to eventually sort of offend one side because it will be taken out of context. I think students need to sort of learn a lot more about this, and the media needs to do a better job of reporting the story with more clarity so that, we're not having students protest the annihilation of Israel and or Jews.
Yeah. And also, when you try to both sides it in a situation like this, you also leave room at the table for justification. And right now, there's no room for that. I've also been surprised. I know you've seen it, too, how many different Western outlets still to this day call them Hamas militants or Hamas fighters, which, you have to call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. They are terrorists. And that diminishes the threat that they pose to Jews across the world.
The reason for being, Hamas's reason for being is to annihilate Jews and to remove Israel. And, I do think the Biden administration has been pretty strong with a two-state solution. And that's a tricky thing to get across. I mean, this is where sort of sloganeering doesn't allow for nuance, but a two-state solution allows for Palestinians to have their own place and Israel to live, and they could one day peacefully coexist.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.